This video concerns what is called the Fermilab Experiment, which is an experiment being conducted today in theoretical physics, and it concerns what might be called the nature of the world, or the way the world really is, not the way it merely appears to be. That's a way of explaining it. To contextualize this, I will give a quote by Niels Bohr, which is that everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. Now I'm going to say that again because it's kind of an important quote. Everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. Niels Bohr. Now, what Niels did, he was an atomic scientist, and I think the easiest way I could explain it is he represents a certain point in our understanding of the atom, a fairly advanced point. I'm not going to go into the experimental details, but I suppose I would describe Niels' point of view as the understanding that most of an atom is empty space, and that from Niels onwards we begin to understand that whereas previously we thought an atom was concrete, solid, and real, from Niels onwards we realize that that's completely erroneous, and we realize that things are empty, and beyond that things don't exist. That this concrete solid atom, that the pavement I look at and I think is solid, is not solid. That it really isn't there, it only appears to be there. And that brings us nicely to the Fermilab experiment. So today, there is something called a holometer being used, and you'll find this on the internet. I'll try and put the link down the bottom so you can have a look if you want to. And what is being tested is really the idea of solid objects. So that scientists are looking at the boundaries of an object. Now, it gets complex beyond that, but the way I would explain it, which is, let's say, a way of understanding, because it gets lost in the mathematics. I would explain it that there is nothing real, there is nothing solid, that everything melts away, and that is the idea they're attempting to test, that objects are not objects in the ordinary sense of things. So the holometer is testing the idea that the world is a hologram. And I would describe that instead of thinking of things as we bang our fist and we find something solid to hit, when we analyze that and look at it in more detail, we realize that all the world is a fancy light show. That anything we think was real, that any concept, any view, any belief, gender, for example, that we based our entire worldview on, that we thought is immutable, cannot be changed, well, we're just wrong. Things are not quite what they seem to be. And what seems at first to be concrete and solid, whether it's a plank of wood or a bit of concrete, is actually not concrete and not solid. And, well, they say they're testing this, but I would say they're trying to prove it. So anyway, I will put a link, and you can form your own opinion. But it's very similar to the theme from The Matrix. The idea that the world we think is there is not really there. And I quite like the scene with the spoon that the reason the spoon is there is because we hold the belief that it's there. And this does link into quantum theory. That in quantum theory, consciousness is connected to matter. Consciousness is connected to the choice of there being either, let's call it option A or option B coming into existence, which is referred to as the paradox of Schrödinger's cat. Now, it goes a bit beyond, a long way beyond Schrödinger's cat, because it's going from a century ago to what is contemporary. But yes, I suppose I would just summarize it really. It's the idea the world is a hologram, which you can metaphorically link to the Matrix movie. But I think what really fascinates me is the fact that this isn't just some magical story, but rather the idea that the world is a hologram is being scientifically tested, and right now, today, that experiment's being conducted. It interests me. Maybe it might interest you too. Okay, I'll put the links. Thank you.